just a bloke in a bar.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the episode of Bloke in a Bar. Before we get into it, the 50% off everything in the store is live right now. That is right. All Bloke kit on bloke.shop is currently 50% off. We've got the jerseys there. We've got the DMP shirts. So it is live right now. Do not miss it. You guys know we don't do 50% off sales. We don't do % off sales at all. So very rarely. We've only done one ever in our history. So head to bloke.shop, 50% off everything right now. But with that out of the way, I got the big fella, Jaydn Su'a. How you going, brother?
Good, brother. Thanks for having me.
Mate, how's it, you know, obviously in the off season, you just said you just went away. How's the body feeling? How's the mind?
Yeah, no, it feels good. Feels refreshed. You know, as I said, I went over to the islands for a little bit. Yeah, had some fun and yeah, I actually got engaged as well. So.
Oh, congratulations,
Thank
bro.
you, bro.
Congratulations. How long you been with the misso?
Oh, about 5 years now, so a while. So,
Okay, so she was your time.
yeah, it was time.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
a few hints here and there, but no, happy it's you know, all sorted now.
So was it a romantic kind of like a bit of romance about it or what? I mean, look, I love love, brother. I
Yeah.
love love, so I'm okay with a bit of romance.
No, I actually rated it. It was at one of the restaurants, you know, pretty sentimental to us. So
Yeah.
yeah, had the waiter come over with the rings and the ring and yeah, got down on the knee and
Shit.
bit of an applaud from everyone. So
Oh man, that's mad.
felt pretty good, eh?
Were you nervous?
Yeah, bro. I was like, I got a bit, you know, drunk before it because I don't know, I just got anxiety, bro. I never get it. So, but yeah, no, I was just, as I said, I'm, you know, happy it's over now and
Yeah.
looking forward to, you know, the big one.
It's funny because like me personally, like leading up to it, I was like, yeah, I'll be sweet, whatever. Like that's my misso. Like
Yeah.
we know each other inside out. But as the moment was approaching, I was like, oh shit, this actually is really nerve wracking.
Yeah, bro. I started mumbling my words and that, and I just thought, shut up, get on the knee and
Just get it done.
yeah, get it done.
Mate, congratulations.
bro.
And so you went over to the Cook Islands, did you say?
Yep.
Yep. And like, it's because like a lot of people, you know, we see Bali, you know, or wherever, but Cook Islands it's like super underrated. Like, and it's getting a bit of a name now, but for a while there, it was just everyone just went to Bali or whatever. What's it like over there?
100. It's just, you know, something I love about it, it's just quiet. You know, there's heaps to do, but it's just the relaxing part, you know. Get to wake up, you know, lay by the beach and, you know, they do the best fish burgers there, eh? So
Yeah.
had a few of those and
Skinnies or what?
no, we'll find out soon. They find out tomorrow, so
Oh shit!
never been one of my strong points, but we'll sort it out.
Fat Club, bro. Are you in the Fat Club?
Bro, it probably hasn't been a year. I haven't been in it, eh? I think I blame old man, but nah, yeah, it's just genetics, I say. But
Oh, mate, I always used to say, mate, genetically thick skin.
Yeah.
That's what I said to the lady that used to do our. Oh man, what do you guys do? Because ours was we had to come in on the day off or like the massage day
Yeah.
at like 5 a.m. or whatever, and we just get towed up for an hour or so. Is it more hectic than that now, or is it the same?
I think it's different at, you know, at
Every
different
club.
clubs,
Yeah.
eh? But at the Dragons, it was, you know, when I first got there, it was, you know, in the afternoons or, you know, just top ups on the field. But you know, when I was at South, it was every morning.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, every morning at like 5 a.m. just get in and yeah, get pumped on the bike. So yeah, it's not very pleasant to be in.
Oh mate, it's tough, especially like in pre-season. It's your day off, and you think
bro.
you're like wigging out on Tuesday night, going, "Oh my god, I got to get a bit early because I got to wake up so early."
Yeah.
But it is weird though. Like I reckon some rigs look fit
Yeah.
and they've got high skinnies, and some rigs look terrible, and you're like, "How are you not in Fat Club?" Like,
Right,
you know what I mean?
that's, you know, I put him on show here, but that's Blake Laurie, bro. He looks terrible, but he's got great skinnies. So like, I don't know how it works, but you know, props to him.
Oh, bloody, absolutely. And mate, so obviously you got the shoulder full reconstruction.
Yep.
And so that would have been what 2-3 months ago.
Yeah, it was about around, I think it was 17, 18.
Yeah. Okay. And so how's the rehab all coming along?
That's going well. You know, I missed a bit of my, I guess, strength block because I went away, but we've got time on our hands now and just push everything back. I think it was a couple of weeks. So yeah, I'm getting through my strength now and finally on the bench press and that. So now it's been good. Everything's running, you know, pretty smoothly and back into it tomorrow. So
Yeah. It's sometimes that, you know, because you're in your what? Would it be eighth season now?
Yeah, bro. A
or
crazy
ninth?
8 season, yeah. I know.
Gone like that?
It's gone so fast, bro. I
Yeah.
feel like I debuted in 2016 and I feel like that was like a couple of years ago. And now when people tell me that, I'm like, I'm, you know, one of the veterans, one of the old boys. So That's pretty cool.
It's weird how when you're a rookie, so you're like 18 or 17 or whatever, and you go into the first grade squad, you see guys like 25, 26, 27, and you're like, man, they're pretty much like adult. They're adults. Like they know everything that's going on. They're fully switched on that. And then when you get to like 26, 27, you're like, bro, I still feel like I'm 18 years old in my head.
Yeah. I know I guess, looking back at it now, like I always thought, once you get to 26, 27, you're an old fella. And now I turned 26 the other week. I'm like, damn. But, it is what it is. A bit more experience now.
Yeah.
So
I tell you what, the good thing is as you get older, like pre-season, you get a little bit of head noise, but nowhere near the head noise you used to get when you're like 19, 20.
Yeah.
I used to, like heading into pre-season when I was really young, like it's all I could think about. Like, and I would all be thinking about like, I can't lose anything. Like I got to win as much as I can win. But whereas now, like, well, not now, now I'd get absolutely slaughtered. Towards the back end, I was like, look, you just rock up, you rip in, and whatever the results are, the results are. Like as long as you have a dig, sweet. But yeah, when you're younger, you're wigging. Oh, I don't know about you, but I was nervous as shit.
Bro, I'm sort of still bad now. Like the last couple of pre-seasons, I'm the first one in trying to find the sheet, what we've got today and what we're doing today. But it's been a while since I've had a proper, pre-season. So this will be my first one in, a few years now. So just actually looking forward to, getting into it and, getting stuck in with the boys.
So born in Christchurch.
Yep.
So you moved to Australia when you were 2?
Yeah, moved over to, Aussie when I was 2. So, obviously I don't remember much of Christchurch, but, I go back a little bit. I was back there maybe a month ago. Had like a 90th birthday, my great pop. So, all my mum's family came down and, it was really nice.
Yeah. And what was the reason for the family moving over? Was it just opportunity?
Yeah, so I think, my mum obviously wanted a sort of a better life for me and, my mum and dad decided to move over and they obviously knew there was more opportunity and more avenues and better work opportunities. So really thankful that they did that for me and
it's because like I lived in New Zealand for like obviously a year, and even though it's like a beautiful place, like it's actually one of the most beautiful places in the world, but in regards to like even just getting a normal job, like the pay is so low, like compared to Australia where you can go pour beers at a bar and get like 25 an hour, whereas like in New Zealand, I think I had my missus at the time was working in retail. She was on like $11 maybe an hour or something like that, or 10 or like it was. Whereas the opportunities in Australia, we take it for granted as Aussies. Yeah. We take it massively for granted. Now it says here you went to Marsden State High.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Right. Looks, mate. No, all jokes aside, obviously, but a bit of a tough area at times.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Like
when you grow up in it, you're used to it.
When you grow up there, you don't know any difference. So I still remember my first couple of days at school. Like there was punch ups and all that stuff. But just as I guess grew older and I went there for a few more years, I loved it so much.
Yeah.
I ended up going to a different school and graduating at a different school, but I missed Marsden heaps. So I sort of wanted to go back.
Just the boys and that?
Yeah, just missed the boys and I guess the footy as well. So
because incredible footy area, like Logan, Woodridge, all that area, like hectic.
Yeah.
And so when you come over here, did you immediately play league, union, soccer, just all sports, or was it just league?
It was strictly league. I think I played from when I was about 5 or 6, and then went all the way through. And I didn't play union till my 2 last years of high school.
Okay, at the new school.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And what was the reason for going to the new school?
I started failing school, and mum wasn't too happy, and
okay.
ended up getting a scholarship there. And at first, obviously, I grew up in like a Polynesian dominated area, and when I went to that, when I went to church, it was predominantly, I guess, white people, and stuff like that, and there wasn't really many fobs there, and I think I struggled in that aspect, but I ended up meeting heaps of boys that I still talk to now, like Brody Croft went there, KP went there, so met some of my best mates there.
Yeah. And so the scholarship, was that because they'd seen you playing league at like or union or sport in club or for school?
Nah, so what happened was I played every Sunday for Logan Brothers. That was my junior club, and I think we had a bye or something that round, so my dad's like, oh, you need to stay fit, because I think I might have had some QIS coming up, and so my dad goes, oh, let's go, there's a trial for the Queensland I guess, schoolboys for Union. And he goes, let's go down and have a jam. And I went down there, and it was at Churchy, the school. And that's actually when I first met Brodie Croft. We were both just trialing out. And, funny enough, we actually both made it. And we didn't end up playing, but we both made it and ended up getting scholarships to the school together. So,
Yeah, wow.
yeah, it was,
So it seems, I mean, it does seem like your parents have made some pretty massive decisions. Like, obviously, most parents obviously going to make massive decisions for their children, but they've made like specific, like you need to go here or, go to this school, go to this trial.
Yeah.
So did they obviously saw the talent and the opportunity that you could, maybe do something down the line?
Yeah, bro, I can't speak highly enough of, my parents, like most people. My dad was obviously the hard nut, and, he was the, footy, and my mum was sort of the soft one where, if I probably, didn't play too well and my dad wasn't happy, she'd, oh, but he did this good, he did that good. And, she still does that now. So, she was all about, the emotional side of it all and making sure my grades were good. And, they've obviously made a lot of life-changing decisions for them, which, I guess put me here today. So very grateful.
It's funny how you tell the story of, going to Churchy and, obviously a lot of white kids there. And so you feel like a bit uncomfortable and like it's a new surroundings. I remember I went to, in year 12, we're just playing in like confraternity, and which is just like a Catholic school rugby league tournament.
Yep.
And we were in the BCom. So we were at, I think it's Wavell. Is Wavell a big school? So we're at Wavell, but we were playing another school that's like in the BCom. So it's not a footy school. It's just like, a Catholic school. Anyway, I remember, so I went to a school that didn't have very many Polynesians. We went to this game, and I remember, I think it was the Wavell boys. They got off the bus and had their shirts off, and I was going, "Holy shit!" I'd never seen blokes that big that were my age, and obviously I grew up like I was a soccer player, so I hadn't been around it at all, and so it's just obviously the reverse of it where you go, "Fuck!" Like I just haven't experienced this before.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
And I'm assuming that's similar-ish, to a different degree when you went to church. You kind of
yeah, no, exactly. Especially, bro, I wasn't the smartest kid. Like my mum helped me with all my homework, all my assignments, and at first I didn't feel like I sort of fit in, and I was, I guess, struggled with confidence in a way. Like I felt like I didn't belong there, or I was embarrassed because I wasn't as smart as these other kids. And I still remember, like I told mum, "Oh, let's go. I don't want to be here anymore." And I've props to our coach at the time. His name's Jason Gilmore. He does a bit with I think he's with the Rabbitohs now, and he was just telling me I'll stick through because we're going on a tour to Scotland, and he goes, "Just
really?
Just stay strong until you go on the tour, and you obviously create memories and bonds like no other." And bro, as soon as I got back, I loved it. So
yeah, that's mad.
Yeah, it was good.
Mad. What an opportunity, like for young men to be able to go away to Scotland. Like that's like because the school I went to was just purely like education. We didn't really have any special so to me that sounds crazy. Like what an opportunity. But obviously, Churchy, they would do it every single year. So you go to Churchy, and was there a temptation to stay with Union? Because I assume you enjoyed it to a degree.
Yeah. I think there was always sort of like for me, like if this doesn't work out, possibly this could.
Yeah.
And
okay.
in my last year of school, I was actually playing 20s for the Broncos, and
so because you debuted at like 17, 18, didn't you?
18, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was my first year out of school, like I ended up playing like half the season for 20s, and then I had to go back to the school footy and finish that off, and then I could go back. So
so when did you get offered a contract to Broncos? Like is it because like a development one?
Yeah, like all the like junior academy. So it probably would have been my first like ever contract or development deal was with actually the Raiders, because they were with
I swear.
They were with South Logan at the time, so
they were, and was Milf played there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, okay,
yeah. So it was there, but then my dad always said, "No, we don't want to sign anything," because he wanted me close to home, and luckily, I got picked up probably when I was about 14.
Yeah, so they went through all the development and all the Did they still have like the elite camps and stuff back then? Yeah.
They had all that, so they were fun. So, I was obviously with Broncos from a young age, so
okay.
It was good.
So did you when you were playing Union for school though? Was there any Union that showed interest in you, or would you consider coming along?
Yeah, so I was signed to I think it was a junior academy deal with the Broncos, but I was also going to like red camps and stuff like that. And I don't think any of them had a problem with it, just because, obviously wasn't, hadn't signed an NRL contract or anything major like that. So, I wasn't in anything major with the Reds. It was just those, academies and stuff like that.
Just get the gears and that.
Yeah, get the gears and take a few photos.
Okay, so you're in year 12.
Yeah.
And what's the call-up like to 20s? Because I'm assuming that would have been nearly as hectic as the first grade call-up.
Yeah. Bro, it was crazy. I'll never forget. So like when I went to Churchill, I went back a year because you have to play 2 years of their program or something like that. So when I was in year 11, I was obviously a year older.
Okay.
Yeah, a year older. So I never forget. I didn't make the Queensland schoolboys for league.
Yep.
And like I had made obviously the 15s, 16s, and then it was a big shock when I didn't make it, and a big wake up call. And I remember Broncos had like they had a tour for the under 17s. I'll never forget. Like one of the coaches come to me and goes, you can play middle. You'll be coming off the bench to play middle. And like I was sort of like not one of the better kids in my age group, but just hearing that, I was like, my heart broke, and then I was like, shit, like I might be on the outer here, and I was only 17, so
And so, what did you usually play on the edge or?
I was always on the edge.
Okay.
Like and then I guess the boys that made it over me, it was like it was Keenan Palacia and someone else, and they were the back rowers, and going into 20s at the end of that year, I was like, oh shit, like what's going to happen here? And I ended up having a good preseason and putting some weight on, and lucky enough I ended up playing 20s.
And like that 20, who was in your 20 side? It would have been a fair side.
Who did we have? Damn, so long ago now. We had like Ash Taylor. My first year we had Ash Taylor.
Yeah, he was at the Broncos.
Nicarima.
Right. Would have had a Keenan as well.
Yeah, Keenan.
Yeah.
It wasn't until my year after we got like we had Paddy, Payne, Katoni. We had all those boys.
Stop it.
It's crazy to see. They've been with the Broncos their whole career, and they're obviously benefits of it now, and it's good to see them go well.
Okay, so you play half a year in under 20s. Is that when the Broncos came to you and said, basically, here's a contract and it's a first top squads contract?
Yeah. It was probably after like 4 or 5-ish games when I played for the 20s, and I actually, I was playing pretty well, and they offered me, I think it was like a 3-year deal, and
coming out of school,
I obviously jumped at it,
Yeah, absolutely.
Was stoked, and I guess that's when my first grade career started off.
So you get offered that 3-year deal, and even though it would have been a small contract, because you're coming out of school, in your head you're probably thinking, mate, I'm rich here, I'm rich.
Especially because I was in my last year of school. I thought I was the man, bro. It was the best feeling ever.
Yeah. Okay, so you finish school, and the funny thing about pre-seasons is, especially if you're in one of the the Broncos top squad or whatever, usually schoolies lands on when you have to go to pre-season or whatever. What did you do in that?
No, I went to schoolies. I went for maybe like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
And and then what happened? I'm pretty sure I ended up going back to training, and they would have done it when you were at the Broncos, but my first session was at the Gap.
The Gap run.
And I missed the bus, and I'll never forget. I got there late. I was bloody like, oh shit. And then,
oh my God.
As I get there, the boys are already running the laps there. And then I walked over to the trainer, and he just made me stand there and watch them. So they had to do all these extras for me. And I was half like, I didn't have to do it. But then like, because they were older boys too. And they were spraying me. Like,
oh man. As a young fella too, coming out of school. And also because like in the top squad, you're probably going to get 2, 3 max that are coming out of school, like because it's so hard to get into that top squad.
Yeah.
So like you would have been one of maybe 2 or other players that are coming out of school. Everyone else goes to resis and trains. So were you rattled? What were you feeling?
Oh, I was rattled, bro. I was so embarrassed. Not embarrassed. Just like sort of felt like I was I was getting belittled. I was like, far out.
And so it's 2015.
It would have been the end of 2015.
So you would have still had, this would have been after their grand final. So you would have had Cozza there.
Yeah.
Did Hodgie retire that year? I think. Anyway, you would have had some pretty big dogs that were into you.
Yeah, I don't even like thinking about that, bro. It was a bad time, eh? But oh well.
So what were you late? Just slept in, missed your alarm?
Nah, so I don't know how to get there. So it was my first time getting there,
okay.
and I got on the bus, and like I was on like my phone, like I was like, oh, I swear it's taking us the wrong way, and I ended up jumping off, like, but it actually took you around and back to the place, and
Yep.
I was trying to call a cab and had no money, and
Also, it kind of looped back in and then went into,
into the gap. And yeah, I got my uncle to drop me off after that.
Bro, the head noise would have been fucking hectic.
Yeah, bro.
So, okay, you see that session, and then obviously you start your preseason. Do you remember a session or even a player maybe that really stood out for you where you're like, holy shit, this is first grade intensity? Because it's a different beast, and it's every single day.
Yeah. Yeah, thinking about it now, I was like looking back at, you know, all those older boys and those players. I felt like I was more so just in awe of everyone. Like, sort of felt like, oh, you know, do I belong with these boys? And we had like Blairy was there as well, and it was probably a big step up in terms of the professionalism and the getting in early and doing the prehab and all that stuff. But one person that probably stood out to me was probably Gillo.
Yeah, okay, Gillo. Great Gillo.
Yeah, obviously, you know, loved the way he played, and and he's a character off the field as well, and I like that.
Mate, he obviously had to retire because of the injury, but you forget how good he was, man.
He was so good. Like coming through, like as a young fella, I was always just watching him. Oh, Lex was there as well, so I was like trying to like, you know, suck up all the info I could from them too, and Gillo was on the right, so like I was always just like, you know, constantly watching him, and you know, I knew like he was obviously an Origin player, and eventually he'd get called into Origin, and you know, my chance might be, you know, coming up. So I was constantly watching him.
So that same year, 2016, you represent the junior Kangaroos.
Yep.
How hard was that decision? Obviously, being born in Christchurch.
Yep.
But you grew up in Australia, so I'm assuming you consider yourself a Samoan Australian or Australian Samoan.
Yep.
Was it a tough decision, or was it pretty easy?
Nah, it was tough. I still remember, because growing up, I was like a Kiwi through and through. Like,
sure.
I always watched the the Kiwis play. I was a massive Benji fan. Always had my black jersey on in every international game, and it probably wasn't until I started representing Queensland that like I kind of felt like a connection and like a, I guess, sense of belonging. And I never forget, I got called into the. I obviously got the call that I made the Aussie team, and I also got the call that I made the Kiwis team. And I remember I was talking to Wayne about it, and he told me, oh, you know, you should play for where you're from and, you know, where you were born. And he goes, how do you feel about that? And I was like, oh, I sort of agree. And but I said, like, I want to play Origin. Like, that's what I want to do. And he goes, and then we had a big talk, and I ended up saying, you know what, I'm going to play for the Kiwis. And then I went home, had a talk with my parents, and then they just, you know, basically told me, you know, you can play for whoever you want, but just remember, I guess, the opportunity we got in Australia, and I guess the opportunity to play for Queensland. And, you know, I went back to training the next day, and I told Wayne, no, I want to play for Australia and Queensland. And then, it just went from there.
Because you got a man of the match in that game against the Kiwis.
Yeah.
Were you quite, I guess, G'd up in the sense that I'm assuming some of the boys in the Kiwis, there might have been some chat on the field, or not even chat on the field, but you could almost feel like, I don't know, they're looking at you, or even standing across from the hooker. Yeah. Bit strange for you, I'd assume. Yeah,
it was a bit strange, but, you know, I can't really remember what I was thinking at the time, but thinking about it now, like I'm Australian as well. I you know, was born in New Zealand, but I grew up in Australia, and it's all that I know, really. So, you know, I obviously haven't worn the Australian jersey at the top level, but, you know, I feel a sense of pride, you know, when I put on that Queensland jersey, and you know, Australia's home for me. Yeah.
So you get man of the match in that performance, and then round 12, you make your debut. Yeah. How did that come about?
I think it was like a week or two after the Aussie game. So we're all at the old Red Hill Fields, and we're all stretching on the side. And Wayne went over to Vita Pango Jr. and told him that he was debuting. And then he came over to me. He was walking to me, and I could see him in the corner of my eye, but I was pretending I couldn't see him, and I was stretching and that. I was like, shit. And then he came over to me and just said, oh, I'm thinking about picking you this week, and then walked off.
Oh, That old chestnut.
Bro, what does that mean? And then, yeah, and then it didn't really, I didn't really know I was playing until I was driving home and the team list came out. And my name was at number 12. And I remember I pulled over, I started crying straight away and rang my old man and my mum. And it was, emotional phone call. And bro, it was the best.
Man, what an incredible feeling for your parents because, they moved to Australia to give you a better opportunity. You go through, I mean, we skipped pretty quickly through it, but, you can't really describe how hard it would be going from your mates, the boys at Marsden, to a school that you don't know anyone. Like a lot of kids would have gone, nah, I'm going back. I don't like this. I mean, you nearly did. You stuck it out. So you call your parents. Anyway, the debut rolls in. What's the feeling like? How's your head?
Bro, honestly, like I was, it's sad to say, but I was just scared, eh? Like I think I came through a time where like, nowadays, when a youngster comes in, he's so like, I guess, protected and looked after. And I felt like when I was coming through sort of, it would have been worse, before me as well. But like, if you didn't do your job, fuck off. Like, it was like that, eh? So,
especially the Broncos. I think the Broncos were uniquely harsh like that.
Yeah.
Because like, it was essentially the Australian side, early 2000s. And that just kind of like leaked all the way through. I think it's different now. Like I think it's changed a little bit, but I know the feeling, bro. Like the whole week for me, I was like the same, scared of failure. I just scared, not scared of like the footy or anything like that. And I would have been the same for you. Like not scared of the contact or whatever. Yeah. Just scared of like, fuck if I drop the ball and looking across the boys off me. And then, anyway, so you get to the game. How you feeling then? Does it all come in your suite then or what? Yeah.
So like, bro, I was still scared. I'll never forget. And then, like I was even too like, I guess, like I was a bit nervous to even sit in the sheds with the boys. So I remember I went out to the field and watched the 20s and just sat with the 20s boys until I got called in. And I ended up obviously playing and we lost to the Tigers, by a point. So that was my, I guess, first game for the Broncos.
What do you, anything that you remember specifically from the game at all?
I just remember getting out there and being like, do your job here. Yeah. Don't miss any tackles and run hard. I think I ended up making a fair few tackles in that game too. Like I made 40 something and I was blowing.
God. Yeah.
Like I was kind of looking to the bench to see if anyone had the interchange card.
But you don't want to put your hand up.
Nah, never.
No way.
They ended up playing the full game and
it
was tough.
Wow, far out. And do you remember the feeling of kind of, I think you already kind of spoken about going out and sitting with the 20s, but I think one of the strangest feelings is like when you go in and you're sitting in your locker and you've got your name on the thing and you're looking across from me and like you're with the first grade boys. Yeah. Like there's something weird about, even though you train with them every single day, being in like Suncorp or wherever you're at and sitting next to that was the strangest feeling for me. Like, holy shit, like I'm here.
Yeah, I was definitely like that, especially, bro, because I was such a footy kid, growing up, and it was more so I was just so in awe of everyone and kind of, probably let the, occasionally get the better of me and, but that's all part of, learning and playing in a row. So
obviously you make your debut. What was how'd your parents kind of take that all in? Obviously they were stoked, but
they were definitely proud, I remember they, probably they got really good seats at Suncorp. I'll never forget, my dad was wearing like a suit and I was like, bro, that's not you, eh? Like, in my head I was thinking, that's not you, but...
bro, he worked his whole life for this. He's going to wear a suit.
But it just, I guess, for me getting, I guess, my old man's validation is probably the most important thing to me, He doesn't do it as much anymore, but after every game he'd give me a call and just tell me what I did wrong, what I did right. And, as I've gone older and probably... I guess in a way surpassed his knowledge. He's taken a backward step, but for me, hearing his opinion, sometimes is more important than anyone else's. So
absolutely. And you're also named second row of a 2016 NYC Team of the Year, but also you captained the under-20s league team.
Yeah,
I mean, what an honour.
Yeah. So obviously I was never a big talker, eh? So like when I was captaining, the Queensland side was pretty. Pretty crazy. Obviously, I had a lot of boys like who were in their last year of 20s, who could have got that, I guess, that nod. But it was cool. I've always been someone who tries to, lead by example and, yeah, don't really, I guess, talk much, or I'm not going to inspire you before the game, bro. So that's not me. But I was
With your actions, though,
yeah,
you try to.
it was a great honor, and yeah, something.
How'd you go in the game?
No, we lost. I think we lost pretty convincingly, yeah. But it was good fun.
Or you just paid them back 2020, baby?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'd love to get like your thoughts on this, because I remember around the time when you were debuting that, there was like crazy comparisons and there was like a lot of hype, and you're just a young kid just trying to play, just trying to do your job. How was it dealing with headlines, you know, the Sonny Bill and all this? Like, how was it dealing with that kind of stuff?
Probably at first, I would have loved it. It would have been good for the head, for my ego and stuff like that. And but deep down, I reckon I probably struggled. I probably still struggle. To today. Not, I guess, living up to the expectations of other people and myself. And I still know I got plenty more in me, and I still want to reach those heights. And so I think the most important thing for me was realize what's happened has happened, and really just attack this year. And I've sort of just thrown all my eggs in one basket, and I want to give it a good crack. I got high ambitions and a lot of things that I really want to do, and that's what I'm going for.
Well, I mean, the perfect thing is like you just turned 26, and you're almost in the perfect position right now to be the best version of yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you got all the experience, you got all when you're young and you're sitting there and you doubt yourself, or you're not doing certain things right. Like, you got 26 years old and you've already got 100 NRL games under your belt. So it's like, body's feeling pretty good. Got the shoulder recco. Outside of that, like, you're pretty sweet to go.
Yep.
Mate, so, I mean, Cody Walker, I always say this, but Cody Walker didn't debut till he was 26. Like, and look what he fucking did.
Yeah.
Okay, so 2017, you played 4 games in 2017?
Yep. I played, 4 in my first year, then 4 in my second year.
Yep.
And then it wasn't until, 2018 that I got, I guess, a lot of game time. And obviously it came at the expense of Jello when he, I guess, had that neck injury early in the season. And I never forget, like, Wayne got us all into a room, and he had the side up, and he had me at like number 12 or something like that. And then he goes, "Oh, actually," and he took my name out, and he goes, "I don't trust you yet." And I remember I was like, "Oh shit, bro!" Like, I thought I was finally going to get this opportunity. And when he said that to me, I was like, "Okay, sweet, like, I'm almost there." And then he ended up just one time I came off the bench, I think, against the Warriors one game, and I played pretty good.
Yeah.
And from then on, he started me, and I ended up playing, I think, 14 games that year or something like that. So.
Yeah. And did you, what preseason did you start to feel like a first grader? Because like by 2018, you're really only 20, like turning 20. So you're young as anything.
Yeah.
When did you start to feel like, okay, I'm a first grader now?
Yeah, that's a hard one. Probably wasn't really till till I played Origin, until I got back.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I got back to that preseason at South. And I kind of felt more like, I am who I am. And probably wasn't until then.
So 2017, 4 games, 2018, 15 games, and also 2018, that's when Wayne moved on, correct? Or 19?
No, so Wayne moved on in I think it was the end of 2018.
2018.
And then Siebes came in 2019, the start of 2019.
Okay.
Is that right?
I'm pretty sure. And so for a guy that I'm sure, a big reason for being at the Broncos is to be with Wayne Bennett, and also so crucial to your development, and anyone that's been under Wayne Bennett, he has a unique way of dealing with the boys. What was that like, dealing with that whole, because that was a huge fallout as a young player? What was it like?
That was hard. I never forget, because I broke my ankle that year as well. And I was in talks with the Rabbitohs where Siebes was. And I never forget, Wayne pulled me into the dressing shed and he goes, "Are you leaving?" And I was like, "Oh, I haven't done anything yet. Leave it to my manager, blah, blah, blah." And he goes, "No, you're not leaving. We'll sort you out a 3-year deal and you'll stay." And I was like, "Okay, done." Like, I look up to him so much that, whatever he says, like, everybody listens. So, that happened, and I ended up signing 3 years at Brisbane. And straight after that, we got into preseason, and that's when obviously all the drama kicked off, and he was gone. And obviously Siebes came in, and things obviously didn't go to plan, and yeah, that's that.
So what was it like with the boy? Like when you're a player and all that drama's going on, what's the vibe like with the boys? Are they just kind of like, look, there's nothing we can control? Was there boys going, what, like, something needs to be spoken about here? Like, this is crazy.
I think, we obviously had a lot of experienced players, and as I said, but I was like sort of a kid still then, so I was just listening to whatever. But yeah, sort of, I'll never forget, Wayne pulled us into the room, all of us, and just said, I want to be here. I've got 1 more year on my contract, and I think we can do something special, and I want to stay. And then he goes, I'm not leaving unless they pump me. And I think later that afternoon, he ended up getting punted. And
oh, wow.
Yeah, and I think all the boys, because they respect him so much, it kind of maybe not divided the club, but just, put like a sour taste around the club. And yeah, the club was sort of, I guess, segregated in a way. And that's when all the barbecue stuff happened. Like Whitey had a barbecue and Wayne had a barbecue, and everyone ended up going to Wayne's barbecue. And it's just, I guess, at the time I probably didn't even know it, but it would have been, I guess, for the older boys, probably a toxic environment. And but yeah, that stuff happened, and yeah,
far out. It's just bizarre to happen at such a big club.
Yeah, hard.
Okay, so then Siebes obviously comes to the Brizzy Broncos.
Yep.
And like, was it all, like, obviously disappointing to lose Wayne, but at the same time you were talking to the Rabbitohs, so you knew that he liked you as a player at that stage. I'm assuming. What was that like? That, I guess, changing of a guard, and I'm assuming the training, everything was super different to what Wayne kind of did. What was it like? Yeah,
when he first came in, obviously I was injured at the time, and I thought, oh well, he wanted me, bro. So like, I felt like, when he come in, we had a chat, and he told me like I'd be playing back row, this and that, and we had a pretty good relationship, obviously, and yeah, when he came in, it was all like everything kind of just in terms of the training and the video sessions, everything probably went up a notch. He's very professional, and he's super smart, and I think sort of because we had experienced players, but we also had a young, crew coming through, and I think maybe the younger boys didn't, I guess, adapt well enough, and then obviously, all that stuff happened, and I ended up leaving that year, and that's that.
So I guess how did that? Oh, actually, 2020. So no, sorry, that's 2019.
Yep.
So how did the mid-season switch happen? Was it a matter of the club said to you, "Listen, mate, if you can find something else, do it," or was it like more you going, "Look, this just isn't working out"?
Yeah. So what happened is I was injured at the time, and I finally got back, and I remember I got out of rehab, and it was my first session with the team, and I never forget, we're doing like a 3-on-2 drill, and I was in the middle, and I dummied it and went to take off, and my ankle reopened. I'll never forget, bro. I was like,
far out.
Yeah, it was like the last session of the year too, so I was like, fuck, like what's gonna happen here? And still being a kid, you're optimistic, and you're like, oh, I'll be right, I'll be back. And Siebes actually said to me, he goes, oh, don't worry about it, just get your body right. You'll be there round one. And I got back for one trial, and I played the round one, and he said he's going to start me, and I was happy and stuff like that, but I sort of knew that I wasn't ready, and ended up starting, and we got a hiding from Melbourne, and from then onwards, like I just ended up, I got put to the bench, and I was coming through the middle, and I was getting dominated in the middle, and wasn't making much of an impact, and I could. And then he had to talk to me, and he kind of pushed me back, and he said, oh, you need to get your fitness up, you need to go back to cup. And, I understood it. I'm not ready, blah, blah, blah. So I'm 1, 2, 3. I never forget, I was at South Logan training, and I actually didn't go. So I was just in the car eating, watching the training.
Yeah.
And my phone was going off, and I didn't answer it because I was watching training, and it went off again, and it was Wayne. And he just called me and goes, what's going on? And I was like, oh, I'm not playing good. I'm playing cup. And he goes, oh, okay, sweet. And then hung up. And then my manager called me maybe a couple of days later, and then they'd asked for, the mid-season switch.
Yep.
But I kind of didn't want to go at first, but, I knew that, when you're not wanted. And
For sure, when you're not wanted. Yeah.
As much as it, probably, kills me to say, I was coming to training, and like there'd be 3 teams. And, from going from the first team to like the bench in the third team, I was like, oh, damn, it was probably the worst feeling. And then
and it's the frustrating thing is that you may not be playing as good as you can play right now, but you're definitely not playing fucking bench third side. And it's like, just if I'm not wanted here, just sit down with me and say, this is where you're at, rather than these like weird games. And I'm not saying that this happened in your perspective, but it's happened with me. Like these like weird games where you're like, oh shit, like I'm fully on the out of here, but I'm still training as hard as I ever have, all that kind of stuff. So it's just a weird environment, especially for a young kid.
Yeah, and it got to the point where like I rang my manager. I'm only like I think 2021, and I'm like, oh, like I'm still, feel like I'm a kid really, and I don't want to step on anyone's toes, and I'm better than that guy. How come I'm not playing? And I rang my manager, and he goes, oh, I'll speak to the Broncos and see what's going on. And ended up having a meeting with Siebes the next day, and he just told me that if something else comes about, you're free to go. And of the conversation that you just said, and bro, I'll never forget, because like about 6 months earlier, they were saying, we want you to be the back row for like the next 10 years. And it's at the end of the day, like, it's a business. And looking back at it, I probably didn't take it as well as I should have. But, now looking back at it, like I understand. And, I still got a lot of mates that play for Brisbane. And, it's, I guess, bittersweet, good to see them do well. So,
Yeah, because like, obviously you're fully committed to Dragons and everything now, but would be super bittersweet because all those boys playing the grand final, you were part of that crew coming through.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so not hard to watch, but like it was good to see blokes that I was going playing footy with, and especially Paddy is one of my good mates, and just see the way he's turned around and the way he's been playing these last couple of years is it's awesome to see.
Yep. Okay, so Wayne obviously reached out. You got the mid-season switch. You go down to South Sydney. You make your debut against Manly Warringah. Was that because it was so, I guess, quick putting that jersey on? You'd been with the Broncos since you're like 14, 15. That would have been a bit weird.
Bro, I was so weird. I'll never forget, like, I was coming home like every second week because I get so homesick. But I kind of, because everything was so rushed and everything happened so fast, I didn't really have enough time to sook or get homesick. And my partner was flying, down from Brisbane whenever she could, and that obviously helped a lot. And but yeah, once I got to South, like, and looking back at it now, like I can't speak highly enough on the club from head to toe.
Notoriously, Rabbitohs, especially at that time, obviously they're struggling at the moment, but they real good vibe off the field, like real good crew. They're super close. And also you playing exciting footy as well. It's not like, it is grinding to an extent. It's tough, but it's exciting footy. So you make your debut for the Rabbitohs. Then you get a full pre-season in 2019 heading into 20, and you play 21 games in 2020. But you get selected obviously for Origin. Do you remember how it happened?
Yeah, bro, I do remember. Like, there was still like I think a couple games to go, and I had like a little shoulder injury, and obviously like Origin that year was at the end of the year because of COVID and that. So I was like, oh damn, am I going to need surgery here? Like my name was like getting tossed up in the Origin talks, and obviously nothing was, I guess, obviously said or anything like that. But Wayne was the coach, and anyway, I went in for some treatment on a day off, and Wayne like walked in too. He was working out. I was always in there early, and I was walking out, and he kind of grabbed me and goes, "What's wrong with your shoulder?" And I was like, "Oh, it's a little bit sore." And this was probably it might have been the first, maybe the quarters or the quarterfinals, and the first finals. And he pulled me aside and goes, "Mate, you got to get through these next few games because you've still got 3 games at the end of the year for me." And like walked off, and I was just like, wow, what's he talking about? Like, I was like, is he talking about Origin? And I just obviously, like, once he said that, I was sort of like, fuck, I could be playing Origin here. I've got to play good these next couple of games. And we ended up getting beat by Penrith in the prelim there. And he just, after we lost that game, he told me then. So as I said, it was another bittersweet moment. Like, we just got knocked out from Penrith, but I'm going into Origin camp. So yeah, bro. And
so, okay, so you're in Origin. You've achieved this incredible feat that you'd been hoping for at least for since you pretty much got to Australia.
Yep.
What's the? I mean, this is the famous 2020. You make your debut. You played all 3 games, correct? Yep. So you make your debut. What was special? Actually, we'll first talk about you personally. What was it like walking into camp for that first time?
Oh, it was just like, I just couldn't believe it, eh? It was, bro, I get goosebumps talking about it. It was just seeing everyone there, and I guess, the caliber of everyone there, and even the coaching staff. We had Mal, Miles was there. We had so many legends of the game, and it was just, it was awesome, eh? I'll never forget, we walked in and we had photos on the first day, and I was taking like snaps of me wearing the jersey when no one was looking, and sending to the boys and that. So yeah, it was hectic.
That's so good, bro. Okay, so 2020, the famous series. Everyone's writing you off. You're on paper a worse side or not a great side. What was it like internally? Was that a motivating factor, or were you guys like just didn't agree with it, so it was like a nothing thing to use? What was it like?
It's kind of hard to ignore when it was all over social media and all over the paper and stuff like that. I think for some boys it was definitely motivating. For myself, I was just focused on, it was my first Origin series, so I just wanted to, do what I needed to do. And but I think it starts from, the coach, and there's no calmer figure than the man himself. So I'll never forget after we'll have 2 stories, but like after the first game, he put me on just before halftime, and then I come off at halftime, and he goes, "Where's Su'a?" And I was, "I'm here." And he goes, "I'm gonna put you on in the second half." And I was thinking, "Oh fuck, I was already on." And he goes, and then like he walked off, and he come back to me, he goes, "Oh, you were on?" And I was like, "Oh yeah." And he goes, "Fucking pull your finger out and do something." And I was like, "Oh fuck." He got me, and then
1-0 away, no?
We ended up winning that, and after the second game, we lost. We got a hiding, and then he come into the sheds with Esky, and he was just giving everyone a beer.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Let's have a good night tonight. Let's have a drink." And he goes, "I promise you, we'll win game 3."
Wow.
And then I was like, "Oh, sweet." And then we didn't really even do much review. And then he just, when he said that, I was kind of like, wow. And then it come to fruition. And
So game 3 rolls around. How you feeling? Like,
that was the like craziest game I've ever been a part of.
Yeah.
I started on the bench that game, and bro, I didn't get on till like second half sometime, and bro, the atmosphere was like, I've played in like some pretty, big games, but bro, that was different, man.
Yeah.
That was like another level. And bro, at one stage I was just watching the game like I was a fan on the bench. Like I couldn't believe it. Like it was hectic. It was
a crazy game.
Mad, yeah.
So is there anything you remember specifically from game 1, 2 or 3 being on the field going, wow, this just happened, or just something that stands out in your mind?
Probably, I guess if there's anything, probably in the first game, my debut game, I got put to the back row, and then I was doing all right. I was actually, second half I was playing pretty good, and Ches hit me in a short ball, and I kind of got half through, and I probably should have kept running, but someone just grabbed me, and like everything was going slow-mo, bro, and I kind of looked to the side. I could see Gags in the corner of my eye, and I flicked past it, and like I was falling over, but as I was falling over, like, bro, it was the best flick pass ever. Like, and as I looked to see what happened, the ball was like rolling on the ground and went out, and I was like, fuck. And then yeah, bro, probably that moment. I always blame Gags to say he's too slow, but yeah, probably that moment.
Fuck, that's great. Okay, so the game 3, the siren goes, or the game's over. What's the feeling like, bro? You just made history pretty much.
Yeah, bro, it was. I can't even remember the emotions I was feeling, except like I was just so hyped, like screaming, bro. My voice was gone, and just the energy we got from, I guess, the crowd, and because they only had just started letting like full capacity crowds come back, and bro, it was another level, and then we all went. We had to go back to the Goldie, which sucked.
Oh,
just because like we couldn't go because of COVID and that, and we all ended up going to Byron Bay, and going there for a couple of days. So.
Enjoyed yourself?
Yeah, that was fun, bro. Really good fun.
What is it like watching a guy like Munster just go crazy in that game 3? Do that, just turn it on.
Bro, as I said, I was watching from the bench, so like I was as a fan at that moment, and bro, there's probably no bigger game player than that guy, and just I guess seeing him off the field to what he does on the field, it's just crazy the type of just how calm he is, but just how he can come off that moment. And
Yeah.
yeah, there's only a couple of them here, but he's one of them for sure.
And he just like nails it every time. Like you'd expect, or nearly every time, you'd expect like a drop ball here or, you know, a bad play here, but he just somehow knows like what to do in the moment and get it right. What did Wayne say to you boys after that win?
I think he was just, I reckon he was shocked a little bit himself, but nah, he was proud obviously, and he's done so much in the game. I don't know where that ranks in, you know, his career, but I know it would have been special for him, and yeah, just, you know, really happy we could do it for him.
You play in the grand final against Penrith.
Yeah.
What's that like a grand final? It's crazy.
Oh, yeah, that was crazy. I think because we all moved to the coast as well, so I reckon that definitely helped us. You know, we got so tight together, and it was 100% like a family. And yeah, we beat them in the first final to go straight to the prelim, and we were buzzing from that because that was the first time we beaten them in ages. And yeah, just the whole build up to the GF, and I guess the experience. Yeah, it was crazy.
What do you remember from the game?
I remember it was fast, eh?
Yeah.
I remember it was quick, and like it was one of those games where like the first half felt like it went forever, and then the second half was like it was over like that, and oh yeah, I'll never forget. Obviously, when that siren went, just before it, Renault went to kick a field goal, and like, I think it was like the accuracy was good, but he just like I remember Cookie went to like, I was like a blocker, and Cookie went to like throw it to me, and then realized, and then like had to gather it and throw it to Renault, and kind of put Renault off, and yeah, he just missed the kick, and obviously, yeah, we lost the game.
Oh, yeah. And is there, I guess, what's the build up like for fans like listening? Like what is the build up like? Is it a pressure cooker? Is it relaxed? Is it exciting?
Oh, as we've talked about, we had Wayne in our corner, so he kind of took all the pressure off us, and he kind of put himself out there, and I think that's when like he might have said something about the Penrith or the kickers or Ivan, and kind of got all the pressure on him, and yeah, so going into it, we were calm, and we'd beat them 2 weeks prior, so like I honestly thought like our form at that time, I didn't think we're going to be beaten, obviously Penrith to Penrith, and yeah, they've won that one and gone on to win the last 2, so
yeah. Just like, I mean, at this stage you're like 23, 24 maybe, and you've played in a grand final in Origin. And
yeah.
I guess you're sitting there going, how good's this? How good's this?
Oh no, bro! I was like, bro, it's not till like now. I think about it. Like I thought when we lost that, I was honestly like, oh, it's all right, I'll be back here soon. Yeah. And then like, obviously, we haven't played as well as we wanted to, but it's crazy, when they say in those moments enjoy them and really cherish them, because bro, they're not going to come around much, and it's true.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Okay, so that grand final happens, then you go to the Dragons. I guess what was it like when you got to the Dragons, and making your debut for the club? Was it cool? Yeah,
it was cool. Obviously, I went there, and we had a young crew, so we had obviously, I know we sort of knew that we not in a rebuilding phase, but yeah, we're going through that phase where we had to trial a few things, and we had a big preseason, and I debuted against the Warriors at the Sunny Coast, so had all my fam there and that, and we won that game, and I think we started pretty good, like the first 2 or 3 games, and obviously fell off a cliff.
Yeah, after that.
Yeah.
What do you like? I guess for Dragons fans looking in, what do you reckon? What's something you would say to them as a player that you're doing your best, but what's the direction? What do you kind of want to achieve?
No, I guess it's hard, being a fan. Like I'm a fan of a lot of sports, and I guess playing sports, you understand. But if I could say anything, it'd just be stick with us. I don't want to compare us to anyone, but look at Brisbane a few years ago. They got the wooden spoon, and they had a young crew then, and they turned it all around. And we've got new staff, we've got new coach. Apparently we're getting a few good, decent players. So stick with us. Things will change. And, when they do, let's enjoy it.
Yeah, absolutely. 2021, you also 2022, you played for Samoa in the World Cup.
Yep.
Was that the first time you'd played for them?
Nah, I like a mid-season Pacific test against PNG. So, yeah, bro, that was hectic.
Yeah.
That was, I learned a lot about myself and just, I guess, seeing what we did for our small island and, our nation was, it was incredible. A lot of proud Samoans and a lot of, I guess, kids similar to myself, I didn't grow up with, much of the culture around me, I guess moving from New Zealand to Australia, but just seeing, like, I guess, kids who have, walking in the path I walk, just be proud of who they are and, proud to say they're Samoan and, it was awesome to see.
And what's, it's crazy is at 26 years old, and I'm sure you probably won't appreciate it fully until you're 35 or whatever, but you've got to experience three very different things. You got the origin, you've got the debut, you got the origin, you've also got a grand final experience. But that Samoa World Cup run, that was worldwide.
Yeah.
That was worldwide. What was it like being in camp for that?
It was crazy just because I guess we were stuck in England, so but just obviously every time going on our phone, seeing all the rallies, seeing all the Samoans get together and be proud, seeing my hometown, Logan, where I grew up, put big things on for the boys who come from Logan. It was crazy, and it was just such a surreal moment especially for the boys, I guess, who not turned their back on Australia, but decided they wanted to represent their heritage.
Yep.
It was crazy because we all when we got to the grand final, we're like, oh, look what we've done for our island and our nation and our people, and just I guess magnitude of how big it really was. Didn't understand until we got back and everyone was at the airport for us, and
wow,
bro, it was just awesome.
Mate, it was crazy. So the England, when you beat England in the semis, what do you remember from that game?
Bro. So obviously we got pumped in the first game, and it got to the point where our next two games were winnable. We knew we were going to win those games, and obviously Tonga was the big test, and being Samoan, that's a big match for us Polynesians, and that was huge, and we ended up just getting the win over them, and I think we all kind of got to the point where it was, we need to get back to the England game, we need to make do for what happened, and when we got there, we were sort of as a joke, we were like, oh, we're going home this week, boys, we're getting knocked out now. And as we were saying it though, we all know deep down it was hurting us, so we really wanted to go out there and beat them. And I'll never forget in that game, bro, I was doing all right, and then maybe one of the last plays of the game, I was retreating to the short side. I was fucked, bro, and I was being lazy, and Williams kind of got the ball, George, and I looked up, and there was a big space on my inside. I was like, shit. So I tried to square up, and he just gooseyed me, bro, and he got through. And they ended up scoring a try, and it leveled the game and took us the golden point. And I was like, fuck, I just lost the game for Samoa. Damn it, I get so much hate. And then that's when the Iceman stood up and kicked that field goal to take us to the final. So,
bruh, critter.
Yeah, bro.
How many big moments this bloke need to have, seriously?
He loves it, bro. He just, I don't know, that guy's built different, and be interesting to see how it goes next year, and Penrith, definitely going to miss him.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so what about the World Cup final? Did you, obviously you're up against it. You're playing the Australian side. It's stacked, all that kind of stuff. They've played Origins together, but did you kind of not feel like you'd already played your grand final? But it was such a big occasion that you'd made the grand final. When you get to the actual grand final of the World Cup, it's almost just do our best kind of things.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just me anyway.
I think, after losing that first game, we weren't expected to beat Tonga, and we beat Tonga. We weren't expected to beat England, and we beat England. And I guess once we got sort of, that momentum, I honestly believe we could have beat Aussie. And as you said, bro, they're a classy outfit, and obviously too good for us that day. But I think we all went in there. Obviously, we knew our backs were against the wall, but we thought we could definitely win that game.
Yeah. Okay, so going forward, what is your goal this year? What's the hope for you this year?
Yeah, the biggest thing for me would be finals footy. I know my first few years in the league, I played finals a fair bit, and it's just I want to be a part of that, bro. Like
Yeah.
just watching the grand final and watching those boys, I guess, on that big stage. You know, I want to be a part of it. I want to be a part of those big games, and I mean that's where you make your name. It's where you make your rep, and that's what I want to be a part of. And obviously, the big thing for me is, you know, I want to play Origin again.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Obviously, you know, there's a lot of good, you know, talent in front of me at the moment, but I truly believe, you know, when I get things right, you know, I'll be good to go. So that's a big target for me.
Yep. And also, I got to talk about it, getting sin bins in round 2 and 3 with the worst sin bins in the history of mankind. Bro, what the hell was going on there?
Bro, that was like probably a period where like I was like, fuck, like what's going on here? Like, I don't want to, you know, say this or that. You know, I feel like they were harsh. I remember I was watching footy, bro. After I think it was it was my first or second one, but in like seeing worse tackles that like weren't getting even called, and kind of felt like in a way like, you know, maybe I was getting targeted a little bit, but that's just the way we're going now, eh? Like you got to be careful, and there's obviously a duty of care. Like it would have been good if, you know, that was 100% of the time, but I've probably paid a few fines that, you know, I shouldn't have paid, but you know, it is what it is.
It is what it is. It's those were especially like, what the hell are we looking at? And I can't believe you weren't blowing up more, because like I'm on the footy field, I'm quite passionate, so like I'll be like carrying on. But you copped it pretty well. Like I was watching it going, what?
Yeah, bro.
What are we doing here? And I agree with you, mate. Like like we're players, so obviously we don't want to have fucking brain damage when we get older. Like so we're not sitting there going, let's fucking go back to the 80s and start bashing each other every run. Yeah, but it's got to be tough, because like you're in a spot where you're desperate to play good footy, you know, like you want to get back to where you got goals that you want to achieve. You want to play finals footy. So yeah, those, mate, those
They hurt, bro.
As a player that is, you know, quite aggressive, have you kind of looked at ways that you can change, you know, still have that aggression but not have risk as much?
Yeah, I have. I felt like there was probably a period when I was playing for the Dragons where I wasn't told, but I was just sort of like pulled aside and said like, bro, like you're sort of letting us down here. Like 10 minutes it's a massive disadvantage, you know, to the team, and I kind of felt like a liability at one stage, and you know, I kind of not tamed myself, but you know, kind of shied away from, I guess, the physicality or looking for that shot, and it just damages my game, eh? Like it just puts me in the wrong mindset, and
you're thinking about stuff too much, where you just got to be playing footy.
Yeah. So I think that was the, I guess, biggest learning curve for me, especially these last 2 years, was, and I am who I am, and obviously there's a line, and it's just about, you know, I guess hitting that line and not going over it.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Now ask all the boys this: favorite rapper of all time.
Oh, on the spot. Bro, the one I'm listening, I listen to Drake, bro. I love Drake.
Yeah. Did you like his latest album?
Bro, I'm one of those guys, bro. I like any song, any movie.
So just like it's just kind of not background music, but you know, it's all just in the background. It's all good, kind of.
Yeah, bro.
Okay.
I don't mind it. Obviously, there was a lot of people who didn't, but you didn't like it.
I actually think he hasn't put out a solid project like probably since, bro, probably 5 years. Like it's all like listenable.
Yeah.
Like if I put it on, I'm sitting there going, this is fucking terrible. Yeah. But if you go back and listen to his old stuff, he's actually rapping about stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like these days, like all he's rapping about is like strippers, chicks, like, which is mad. And he can still do that, but I just don't think there's any depth anymore, bro. I want some depth, but I'm an old dude now.
Producer.
But like you go back and like listen to Nothing Was the Same.
Yeah.
And some of the songs he's talking about family shit, he's talking about stresses in his life, whereas now it's just like,
well, I guess that's kind of the way it's going about these days with music. Like,
yeah. I'm an old dude, bro. Like I'm 36 years old, so I'm the old head hating on even though he's older than me, but anyway, whatever. But like I agree though, bro. Like all his music, it's never bad.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna like put it on, go to the gym, like it's mad because it's just like all pretty good, high energy, most of it. I do think the song with J. Cole's fucking hectic.
Yeah.
That's hectic. I like that. Also, favorite movie of all time.
Favorite movie, bro. I like Stomp the Yard.
Yes,
that's
one of my
favorite movies, eh?
Bro.
I used to think I could dance like that, but Yeah, that was one of my favorite movies.
Oh, what's the OG dance movie with Omarion and his brother in it again?
Oh,
You Got Served?
yeah, You Got Served.
That's my jam, bro. That was the best. Had the Pump It Up song, Joe Budden in it. Oh, my God.
Yeah. I'm probably forgetting one, but yeah, that's probably my favorite, or one of my favorites.
Okay, sweet. Mate, thank you so much for coming on, brother. I really appreciate it. And, yeah, good luck with the season.
Appreciate that, bro. Thanks for having me.
Boom.